Alrighty now, we're going to talk about what's called rigid motion, which is the beginning of what the next chapter is about. The first thing you got to know is the word transformation. Transformation literally just means you're changing a shape in some different way. You're moving it, you're stretching it, shrinking it, crushing it. You're just changing the shape somehow. Now, there's some different things you got to know. There are two words. Pretty sure my accent was just different between two and words, and then when I start talking again, oh well. Pre-image is the original shape. Let's just say we called it A. Image is the new shape, and you're going to call it A with this little apostrophe. That apostrophe means it's the new version of A, and you say that by saying A prime. So the original shape is A, the new shape is A prime. Now, this whole chapter is about something called the rigid motions. And it's literally meaning the transformation that doesn't change the size. It only moves it in some way. So, the size, all that, it doesn't change. It preserves its size. The distance between the points is the same. And between this also stays the same. Meaning that if you had A, B, C, and then you moved it somehow, it's still going to go A, B, C. B is still going to be between A and C. You can't move it somehow. Now, there are three types of rigid motions. We're going to talk about each one of these in this chapter. First one is what's called the translation. And that's literally just meaning you're moving it. So, you have a shape, you move the shape. And that's literally it. So, translation is a move or a slide. The next one's what's called the reflection, and you guys all know what the word reflection means. And it's a mirror image. So, you got it, you flip it. You got it, you flip it. You got it, you flip it. And so, you do got to be careful. It's a little bit more difficult here because things are backwards when you do a mirror image. Lastly, you got a rotation, and I know you know what the word rotate means. It means to spin something. So, you got a shape. You spin it, got a shape, you spin it, got a shape, you spin it. And then basically the different rotations are just how many degrees you spin it. That's about 90 degrees right there. Now, in this first section, we're going to talk about transformations by using rules. And what's there, it says xy becomes x minus 5, y plus 1. Let's say I give you a shape, and I say, transform it using this rule. First step, label the points now. And this is one of those reasons why we practice this in that first chapter. Because you got to be able to label points correctly or you're going to get things wrong. So, over 4 up 2, over 3 up 0, and over 5 down 1. Now, all you're going to do is take this rule and you're going to stick this 4 here and this 2 here. So, you got 4 to minus 5. 2 plus 1. On this one, you play 3 to minus 5, a 0 plus 1. And on this bottom one now, you got 5 minus 5, and then negative 1 plus 1. So that's the rule, and now you got the image, which is the new shape. A prime is negative 1, 3, because 4 to minus 5 is negative 1, and 2 plus 1 is 3. Same thing here, you subtract, you should get negative 2, 1. And the last one, you get 0, 0. And now you just graph these points, negative 1, 3, a negative 2, 1, and 0, 0. This is a rigid motion because it's the same size. All that's happened is moved over left 5, up 1, left 5, up 1, left 5, up 1. So it's a rigid motion because all it did is move. Size didn't change at all. So, let's say I gave you this shape now, and I give you a new rule. This one says negative x comma 2y. So once again, you're going to start off by labeling the points. A is 1, 2. B, negative 1, 1. C is 3, 0. Apply the rule. So when there's a negative there, that just means put a negative in front of the number. So that was a 1. Now it's a negative 1. This was a negative 1, so now it's a negative negative 1. This was a 3. Now it's become a negative 3. This was a 2. It says times it by 2. So 2 times 2. 1 is 2 times 1. And 0 is 2 times 0. You get negative 4. 1, 2, and negative 3, 0. And that's because a negative and a negative make positive. Now, you graph it. Suddenly, something weird's happened. It's not a rigid motion because it's a different size. It's definitely bigger than it used to be. And just a note, because this is going to come at the very end of your worksheet there. An isometry just means the same shape or size. Same shape, same size. But it's just been moved in some way. That's the whole first worksheet, and the whole first quiz is mostly, can you understand what a rigid motion is? Do you know what the 3 rigid motions are? And then can you apply a rule to change a shape? Boom. And now you're done.